You guys know I'm a massive Doctor Strange fanboy, and Multiverse of Madness, I am like unapologetically gassed for that movie. It's one of my favourite in the MCU by far. One of my favourite movies ever. I'm not even tripping. I love that movie. I love Doctor Strange. And I've been sent this video, and apparently it's really sick. It's got amazing Easter eggs, and I have to check it out. This is made by the Canadian lad. Check him out on YouTube. Link in the description. It's called I Watched Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness in 0.25x speed, and here's what I found. Damn. I want to know how long it took my guy to watch that movie in that speed. I'm guessing more than a day. Must have been. Maybe even 2+ days. It's going to be a long minute, bro. That's a long film. Let's waste no time. Let's check this out together. If you see something that you didn't know in the movie, do me a favor, smash the like button. I'll be very, very vocal. If I see anything I didn't know, you guys know, I will let you know. And of course, if you're new to the channel about the nerd life, consider subscribing. Join the nerd army. Let's check this out. Go. I'm ready, Canadian lad. Come on, tell me something sick.
Hey everyone, I'm the Canadian lad, and this time I watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness at 0.25x speed and found 40 new details that you may or may not have seen before.
Let's
go! It took
go.
me 3 days to watch the film in slow
3
motion,
days!
and I made sure to come up with details that will be worth your time. So please watch the video till the end, as I'm about to show you details in a chronological order. Let's begin. Number 1. The movie actually opens from Wanda's perspective. Sam Raimi's camera work and the background score both support this detail. This background score is a direct recreation of the WandaVision theme song. In fact, the first time Doctor Strange thinks of Wanda in the film, the same music can be heard as well.
You know anyone who's faced such a thing?
Bro, I didn't even clock that out. That's
So this
sick.
was a subtle hint that the movie is picking up right where WandaVision ended. Number 2. Defender Strange shoots an icy blast and freezes this giant monster. Now notice an amazing attention to detail here. Defender Strange conjures the same icy blast underneath his boots as well, to make them work like repulsors, so he can levitate or jump higher distances. And when he lands, both icy platforms break, just like
these details, man, make it so dope.
He's basically Iron Man but with magic. Number 3.
Defender Strange.
While fighting Gargantos, Strange conjures an axe and severs the tentacle holding Wong. Notice the axe that Strange conjured had magical abilities which literally vaporized the severed tentacle into thin air. Number 4. When Gargantos wraps its tentacle around Doctor Strange, America Chavez tries to help, and she does that by kicking into this ledge,
Yeah,
which
the
then
star
falls
shape.
onto Gargantos. And notice when she slammed her foot onto the ledge, it created a star-shaped symbol. Not only that, it even broke the ledge in a star-shaped symbol. It happened so quickly, almost everyone fails to notice it. Another amazing attention to detail there. Number 5. After this massive fight, America Chavez steals the sling ring from Doctor Strange, and in slow motion we can actually see when it happens. Notice when Doctor Strange approaches her and opens a portal to get her off the ledge, that's the moment America steals the sling ring from Steven.
Sneaky!
Number 6. When we see Wanda for the first time in the film, we see her daydreaming about her twins, and she says the exact same dialogue here as she did in the final episode of WandaVision.
You know, a family is forever. We could never truly leave each other, even if we tried. You know, a family is forever.
Damn.
We could never truly leave each other, even if we tried.
Notice, unlike in WandaVision, in her dream, the room is switched from left to right. Billy is now on the right-hand side of the room, while Tommy is on the left,
is sick.
indicating this is not the same West view we saw in WandaVision, but an alternate one.
Number 7, things about the
when
front as
Scarlet
well,
Witch
like
lifts
that.
the magic and shows her true color to Doctor Strange, notice the pages that are opened in the Darkhold have this eye symbol in the middle of a magic spell, indicating how this was the last spell Scarlet Witch used to conjure Gargantos, because Gargantos is nothing but a giant eyeball with tentacles. Number 8. We learn in the film how the Darkhold corrupts everything and everyone that it touches, and that's why Wanda's outfit now has these black marks all over her body, which we never saw in WandaVision. It's not only her fingertips that turn black when she draws power from the Darkhold. She as a whole being has been corrupted by the book already. Number 9. Scarlet Witch calls out Doctor Strange specifically for giving away the Time Stone to Thanos.
When you gave Thanos the Time Stone?
And now when I think about it, yes, Thanos' snap impacted everybody, but it did the most damage to Wanda, because she saw the love of her life die twice in a matter of a minute because of the Time Stone. Kudos to Michael Waldron, the writer of the film, who paid attention to it. Number 10. When Scarlet Witch shoots red magic from her hand, we get to see how the sorcerers have turned Kamartaj into a fortress. And if we rewind back a few minutes, in the background we can actually spot a few sorcerers casting a spell to conjure a shield around Kamartaj.
Mate.
Number 11.
That's what I like, those little
Scarlet
things.
Witch inside a cage made of glass. But Scarlet Witch finds her way back using reflections. She comes out all twisted and bendy, but then
It's a horror
snaps
film.
back into normal. Now notice a very subtle detail over here. Her hands, her face, and her body have wounds all over them. Now the way these wounds appear, it tells us she cut herself while trying to escape from the glass cage.
bruv.
And that would make sense because these cuts look exactly the ones you would get if you cut yourself with a glass. So that's a fine attention to detail there. And a bonus detail in the shot, notice when her powers dissolve after she snaps back into her normal form, all of her power gets stored inside her heart, implying the Darkhold has taken control over her heart, not letting her feel sympathy towards others. Number 12. After Strange and Chavez land onto Earth 838, they land under the same roof as Chavez did in Earth 616.
Oh yeah,
But just
that
to
are
show
the
the
details
drastic
that I
differences
like,
between
man.
our Earth
Yeah.
and Earth 838,
I just got
notice it
goosebumps,
has
y'all. I'm
much
not even
more
joking,
greenery
bro.
all
It's so
around.
weird,
It has
man.
a lake with grass on each side, whereas in our universe there's a road with traffic, indicating how much more alive Earth 838 is compared to ours. Number 13. After picking up random food from the street, Chavez tells
Man, I
Steven
want
that
that.
most universes have free food.
Food's free in most universes, actually. It's weird you guys have to pay for it.
But then Pizza Papa asks Chavez to pay for the food she took.
Hey, you didn't pay for that.
Crap. Maybe it's not free here.
Now here lies an amazing hidden detail. Not a visual detail, but still a good one. America Chavez thought most universes have free food because whenever she would get hungry, she would teleport herself to exactly those universes that serve free food, because she doesn't normally have the money to pay for it. So it's not like most universes serve free food. It's only a certain few. But America doesn't understand it because she thinks wherever she teleports, it happens randomly without her choice. But the truth is, whenever she's in danger or she needs something, for
yeah,
example
she goes
food,
there,
her
innit?
powers actually take her exactly where she
Yeah,
needs
yeah,
to
yeah.
be.
That's pretty
Strange even
sick.
confirms it at the end.
Every time you open
Yeah.
a portal, you sent us exactly where we needed to go.
Number 14. Chavez tells Strange that you don't want to get stuck in the Paint universe because it's really hard to eat there.
Were we paint one of them?
Yeah.
I want to see the clip of them going through. I know it's gonna be sick.
Now notice when they were traveling through the Paint universe, they both were struggling to even breathe.
Yeah.
So if breathing is difficult there, eating must be a nightmare. Number 15.
Yeah.
When Scarlet Witch
Impossible.
dreamwalks into Earth 838 and watches over Wanda, notice Wanda could actually sense where Scarlet Witch's soul is even without seeing her. She first stops and looks exactly in Scarlet Witch's eye, and that's when Scarlet Witch backtracks and goes behind the stairs. Now notice what Wanda does next. She also
knows
looks
she can
behind
still
the
see,
stairs
man,
as if
through
she
the
can
stairs,
exactly
innit?
see
Yeah.
where Scarlet Witch is standing even though she's not visible, and that makes the whole scene much more scary than it already is. Number 16. Strange and Chavez travel through a total of 16
This is what I want.
universes in the film, and in slow motion you can guess that I didn't miss any of it. So without wasting any time, I'll just name the universes that I noticed, along with
This is
the
what I
few
want.
details I found in them. First, we see the Living Tribunal statue world,
Yep.
featuring huge heads reminiscent of the Living Tribunals from the comics. In the comics, the Living Tribunal's purpose is to protect and keep the balance in the multiverse. Second, we see the Onslaught Canyon world, which pay tribute in a way to the movie 127 Hours. Third, we see a world made entirely of honeycombs, which also includes
Bees.
giant bees flying around Strange and Chavez. Now these are actually giant buildings, but made out of honeycombs instead. Means everything
okay, I
in this
didn't know they were
universe
doing
is
this.
being controlled by bees. Then we see the underwater universe, where everything is underwater, nothing above the ground. But here's an interesting detail. When they both jump out of this underwater universe to an alternate New York, even the fishes teleport along with them. The VFX team even made sure to see
I'm not
the
even gonna
shadows
cap
of the
and
fish
say I
to
see
make
it
it
all.
much more realistic. And notice when
This
they were
is sick.
traveling through these universes, they were physically doing it. And here's how I know. This taxi pulls the brakes so hard that we can actually hear it.
Yeah.
So if they weren't visible to the people in other universes, this taxi wouldn't have pulled the brake so hard. Now there's another Easter egg here from Sam Raimi and Bob Murawski, the editor. They have this company called Grindhouse Releasing, and that's what we see on the taxi. Then we see a pipe world run by Stark drones. Now this was a deliberate Easter egg from the VFX team to pay tribute to Spider-Man Far From Home, where we've seen these drones for the first time. Now,
Whoa.
here's another detail I spotted in this one. Listen to the background score
Whoa.
when Strange and Chavez travel through this pipe universe. It literally has no noise, implying these artificially advanced robots have been optimized to such
taking
a
over the
level
world,
where
bruv.
their movements cause no sound. Then they enter this
Damn.
Skeleton universe, where it's filled with a bunch of skulls and bones, and some are even
That is
alive
sick.
and moving. And then we enter the
Ooh,
Savage Land, where we
what?
see dinosaurs and
Yeah,
whatnot,
Savage Land.
which
Big
pays
up,
direct
X-Men.
tribute to Marvel Comics' Savage
Big
World,
up.
which is the home of the classic X-Men villain Magneto. Now the idea of using the Savage Land actually came from Kevin Feige himself. And then we see the comic book universe, which many thought could be the What
This
If
is sick.
universe, but it's more of a tribute to the comics. comics.
No.
And it finally establishes that whatever we've read in the comics so far all exists in a different universe in the MCU. Now here's a visual detail in this scene that I caught right from the trailer, and I would like to tell you again in case you haven't watched my trailer breakdown yet. Notice America Chavez holds onto Doctor Strange's eye of Agamotto so that she doesn't lose him in this chaos. I like how this version looks a bit different from the trailer, but they still kept the scene where America holds onto Strange's eye of Agamotto. Then we see the post-apocalyptic world, which shows what would have happened in Avengers 1 if the team had lost, and New York had been destroyed. Now, as I mentioned, Chavez tried to hold onto Strange's eye of Agamotto, and Strange did notice it too. As a result, he's now holding Chavez into his arms as a proper Guardian should. And that's how they enter into this cube world. Then they go to a paint world, and then jump into a black and white world that's been stuck in the 1930s. Now, this is a world taken over by Hydra, and this logo on the blimp confirms it. But it's only visible in IMAX. If you watch the regular format, you won't see this hidden Easter egg.
Bruv.
And I like how the only
Never would have
we
seen
see
that,
in this
fam.
universe is the color orange that got pulled up with Strange. Then they enter into this pyramid world, where it looks a bit ancient but futuristic at the same time. And then a cyberpunk-esque world, where a giant propeller is generating light in the middle of the city. And lastly, a fiery world where everything is dark and is surrounded with fire. Now this could be the realm of hell, where Hela was banished into, and where Loki thought he was after he was pruned by the TVA. Number 17. While Scarlet Witch is dreamwalking, a sorcerer called Sarah destroys the Darkhold. And as soon as the Darkhold was destroyed, notice Scarlet Witch's black fingertips, including the sleeves of her suit, were slowly turning back to normal again, implying the effect the Darkhold had on her has slowly started to wear off. But it didn't wear off completely, because this was just a copy of the Darkhold. The real one still exists. Number 18. Christine Palmer says Steven from our universe and Steven from 838 universe do have similar injuries, but they're not identical.
Your injuries, they're similar, but they're not identical.
Now, the VFX team made sure what she said appears on screen. Notice both Stevens have injuries on the exact same areas except for the pinky finger. That's where the injury doesn't match. Our Steven has a much more broken pinky than 838 Steven. Number 19. Notice Christine Palmer has also dated the scans on her report. It shows 838 Steven suffered an injury on January 3rd, 2012, way back before our Steven, which explains how 838 Doctor Strange is more powerful and accomplished. But she dated our Steven scan as February 12th, 2021. Now in this case, I'd like to believe it's currently the year 2021 in this universe, not 2025 like ours. Because in our universe, in 2021, Stephen Strange was still lit. And this Christine never came across our Stephen before this day. So this date must be the current date in that universe. Number 20. Our Stephen tells alternate Christine to look after America Chavez. And hearing this, Christine gets a bit surprised.
Don't let anyone hurt that kid.
Now the reason she reacted that way is because the Stephen Strange she knew would never say anything like that. That's a very selfless thing to say, and it's definitely not coming from someone who holds the knife. Number 21. Inside the Mount Wundagore Temple, we can see a huge Scarlet Witch statue. And we can also see that there are two children statues as well, which likely represent Wiccan and Speed. In the comics, Billy and Tommy become Wiccan and Speed, and fight alongside the Young Avengers. Number 22. When Scarlet Witch again possesses Wanda, there were leaves blowing inside Wanda's living room. Now notice the props department made a small dominoes that looks so beautiful when the wind blows inside the living room. Number 23.
I'm loving
when we meet
this.
Supreme Strange, aka Strange from the 838 universe, we could see that his fingertips had also turned black, as it happened with Scarlet Witch.
He's been reading that
Notice
dodgy
his hands
book,
were
mate.
shaking ever so slightly, implying how Strange never recovered from his original accident. The same thing is true in the case of our Stephen as well. Despite becoming the master of the mystic arts, he still doesn't use magic to fix his hands, because they remind him of what he lost in order to gain what he has. And Supreme Strange having the same characteristic is a great continuity detail in my opinion. Number 24. In the same scene, we learn how the Illuminati has essentially defeated Thanos. Notice this Thanos was stabbed in the chest with his own double-edged sword, and he was also wearing his body armor, which our Thanos ditched as soon as he came in possession of an Infinity Stone. Meaning, this Thanos deemed the Illuminati a more dangerous team than our Thanos did to the Avengers. That's why he didn't get rid of his armor. And notice how this Thanos is also bleeding from his face, which the Avengers really found tough to do. Other than Iron Man and Thor, almost nobody gave him any fight in Infinity War. And this Thanos dying in Titan itself means he never made it down to Wakanda like he did in Avengers Infinity War. Number 25. After killing Thanos, the Illuminati decides to punish Supreme Strange with death, because that's the only way to save the multiverse from him. And in this shot, we can see Reed Richards holding onto Strange's cloak of levitation, which appears to be blue. So my theory is Christine might have used a portion of this cloak that Supreme Strange left behind to fix our Stephen's cloak of levitation. Let me know what you think about this. Number 26. When Scarlet Witch infiltrates the Illuminati HQ, we see her killing the Ultron bots on the holographic image. Now each of this footage is from all of this bots' point of view. For instance, we see Wanda from the front, bot. That's from this bot's POV. And when Wanda shoots down this bot, the POV
that's
falls
really
on the
sick,
floor
man.
as well. We see another footage from Wanda's left, and that's coming from this bot. Well, you get the idea.
Damn.
I just want to point this out because this shows the length
Very
the
sick.
VFX team would go to ensure a realistic experience. Number 27. Now, in one of those POVs, we can actually see how Scarlet Witch gets this sticky fluid all over her face. There were all kinds of theories as to whose blood it
everyone's
could
like, who she
be
killed in the
before
trailer?
its
Yeah.
release. And it seems like it's not blood. It's just some bots releasing fluid. And one thing I cannot emphasize enough is I love how each point of view follows the other, and there's not a single continuity error there. Number 28. Now, the last detail from this scene is Wanda's everlasting head tilt. She did it in Civil War, she did it in WandaVision, and now in this film, just before she killed the last bot. Number 29. Inside Christine's chamber, we can see another Ultron bot interacting with a human. And notice, as soon as this bot realizes the building is under attack, it goes from regular mode to combat mode. Number 30.
man.
Just before the final
This
fight
guy's
between the
hit
Illuminati
this
and
video
Wanda,
out of the
notice
park,
the
yo.
members of the Illuminati land in the order they were introduced to us.
Captain Carter, Blackagar Boltagun, Keeper of the Terrigen Mists, Captain Marvel, Defender of the Cosmos, Smartest Man Alive, Reed Richards.
Big up Reed Richards, mate.
Number 31. When Scarlet Witch killed Black Bolt, notice his eyes almost popped out of his head. And as a result, he not
Yeah.
only bleeds through his nose, but his eyes start
Eyes
to
as
bleed
well.
too. And eyes are part of the brain, so that was, such a painful death, mate. Number 32. After turning Reed Richards into spaghetti, Captain Marvel and Captain Carter are the only two Scarlet Witch has to fight. Now, Captain Marvel blasts her from the top, while Captain Carter goes sideways to attack from the side. But notice Wanda never lost her focus on Peggy, even though she's actively fighting Captain Marvel. Now, why is that? It's because the Scarlet Witch knows very well what a vibranium-made shield can do to your body. I mean, she was really good friends with Steve, so she must know. And that's why she reflects the shield and throws it deliberately onto this pillar, preventing Peggy from using the shield, therefore buying herself more time to fight Captain Marvel. This also shows how good of a fighter Scarlet Witch is. She thinks way too quick for everyone around her. And this is the exact reason Captain Carter got killed eventually. She lost her focus and wasn't quick enough to match Wanda's
Sliced
speed.
it off.
Number 33. There are still discussions on the internet whether or not Peggy's body got sliced in half when Wanda killed her.
Yeah,
well,
she
don't
did,
worry,
man.
I got the
100%.
answer here. If you watch this scene where Peggy falls flat on the floor at 0.25 speed, you will notice how her upper body falls on the floor first and then her lower body, meaning Scarlet Witch
I love
really
it.
sliced Peggy in half. Number 34. In the scene where Scarlet Witch kills Captain Marvel by crushing her with a giant statue, notice just before that, Scarlet Witch
she
actually
sucks
absorbs
all her
of
power out,
Captain
mate.
Marvel's power,
Takes it all
which
off.
is why we see her
Yeah.
helmet and suit slowly fading away. But notice what happens next. Wanda blasts Captain Marvel with the photon blast that she just absorbed a few seconds ago. Now, Wanda's blasts always appear to be the color red,
Yeah,
but
red.
when she blasted Captain Marvel, it was yellow, implying Wanda blasted Captain Marvel not with her chaos magic, but instead photon blast that she absorbed. That's why this explosion wasn't in color red.
Very
Number 35.
sick.
When Professor X enters Wanda's mind, you can see that he
Horror
enters through a
scene here,
door
bruv.
that looks like the one from Wanda's home from WandaVision. This is also why Wanda is stuck under rubble, thus matching where she and Pietro hid after the apartment was bombed. And notice when
Damn.
Professor Xavier tries to save Wanda from Scarlet Witch appears in her true form. This is how she really looks now that she's corrupted by the Darkhold, but uses magic to portray herself
Damn.
as humanly as possible. Also, when Charles tries to pull Wanda from under the rubble, we can see the small red TV playing
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
the
two
WandaVision
episodes
TV.
of WandaVision. This exact TV
Sick.
was previously seen in WandaVision episode 8, when Agatha and Wanda travel through Wanda's memories. Number 36. When Scarlet Witch gets locked behind a door in the tunnel, Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and Christine Palmer all wait to see whether she blasts through the door or not. But to their surprise, Scarlet Witch takes a detour and comes from the side instead. And notice in order to do that, she had to harness so much dark magic that her true witch form appeared on the outside once again. And as I said, she
Damn.
then uses magic to keep her human form. Number 37. Sam
That's
Raimi's
a
own
hype, yo.
1973 Delta 88 makes a cameo in the Fallen Dimension. This car has appeared in all the Raimi movies. In fact, not only this, there were multiple versions of this car in this film as a nod to the multiverse. Number 38.
Multiverse,
In the
mate.
Fallen Dimension, Doctor Strange and Sinister Strange have a magical duel where they use two classical music pieces as
Yeah,
spells.
so
Doctor Strange
sick.
uses Symphony No. 5 in C minor from Ludwig van Beethoven, while Sinister Strange uses Toccata and Fugue in D minor from Sebastian Bach. So these weren't just random musical notes they were throwing at each other. They're genuine musical notes. Number 39. At the end of the film, when Wanda takes it upon herself to destroy the Darkhold, she destroys the Darkhold in every universe. But notice, as soon as Strange sees it, he does sense something wrong with it as well.
So she destroyed the Darkhold in every universe.
She did the right thing.
This long pause from Doctor Strange might indicate that he knows something is still wrong, that maybe all Wanda did is go into hibernation, and that she will in fact come back. I mean, this isn't the first time she has been under the rubbles. It happened
She
before.
is coming
now
back
when she comes back,
defo.
she might just come back stronger. And according to multiple reports online, not only is Wanda alive and well in the MCU, she will come back next year. Number 40. Now this detail has nothing to do with slow motion, but it's something that I observed. After seeing multiple Doctor Strange in this film, one thing that really stuck to me is the fact that how narrow the margin of error is for our Doctor Strange. He has to live the rest of his life knowing Christine is married to someone else. He can't do anything about it, because if he does, that would make him the same as Sinister Strange. He also can never go find a solution in the Darkhold, because that would make him just like Supreme Strange, and he of course has to balance between holding the knife or letting someone else hold the knife for him, because if he doesn't, then he and Defender Strange will become one and the same. So if you think about it, our Strange, out of all the Stranges in the multiverse, is living the most difficult life. Now there are a few details I left out. For example, Professor X using a yellow wheelchair, which is a direct reference to X-Men the animated series. But details like this are mostly spotted by everybody. But I wanted to give you lads something special. Something you haven't seen before.
This is a very,
That's
very
basically
sick
my
video,
job.
man.
And that's it. This would be my breakdown of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness at Point T Feb.
Very,
I hope I was
very
able to give you lads a few new details you didn't catch before. If I did, then please give me a thumbs up, grab the subscribe button, and turn
100%,
notifications
bro.
on.
100%.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter.
Hey, real quick, Canadian lad, big up yourself. I'm subscribed now. I didn't know about your channel before, but now, every time I make a new video, I'm going to be gassed. I'm watching it. Very, very, very sick. Loads of details. There's at least 20 to 30 things. I know you said there's about 40-ish. There's about 30-ish that I did not know and did not see. I can't believe that drone thing, the drones have taken over the world from bloody Mysterio. Then the Hydra sign on the blimp. Whoa, mind blown. Really, really sick, bro. Just those details make these movies god tier for me, man. I'm so gassed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching together. That was a goddamn hype, man. Check him out, link in the description. Thanks for watching. Peace.